Welcome in, my beautiful builders. In today's episode, we're going to take this peaceful valley and turn it into that. Let's get into it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a big episode today. But first, before we get into the building, I got myself a new buddy. However, while riding this new buddy, Mr. White Horse here, he's not even worth a name, to be honest with you. He's kind of terrible. Anyway, Mr. White Horse here, he's going to help me find another horse. I actually want to ride around for a little bit and see if I can find myself a pretty fast horse. I want a horse that can help me travel back and forth between the area that we're going to be working in today and the port area. Basically, I just want a land steed. I do. I want a land steed, something that's going to help me go super fast and be awesome. And I just found out this brand new trick from my boy B-Dubs. You guys know the B-double-O, the guy, the builder dude. He showed this cool trick in his latest Building with B-double-O episode. Check this out. If you get on this dude, hey, and you listen to his plot, right? Right? You listen to that, and if it's fast, you know he's a fast horse, right? So listen. You are being a pain! Oh, you're a little fast. I heard it for a second there. You may be faster than my current horse, but I don't know that you're the fastest horse in the world. What about you? Oh, you sound really slow. Yeah, you sound really slow too. Okay, so that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride around. I'm going to see if I can find myself a really fast horse. Guys, I think I found him. Alrighty, so taking a look at this guy's colors, and I like the name Jet. And I'm guessing he likes the name Jet too, because he sure is dancing for it. Alright, Jet, let's go, buddy. We got some things to do today. So in the last several episodes, we've been working over here in our port, making this area look absolutely gorgeous by adding in some gardens, adding in the stable, adding in some townhomes, adding in a beautiful fountain and courtyard area with a barracks for the soldiers to stay in, and overall, I have to say that I love the way this area came out. It still has some work to be done, but just finishing touches for the most part. Things like the path and such that need to be done. But today, we're actually going to be heading away from this area for this episode because, well, I need farms. And I'm not talking about micro farms and things like that and automation, but actual farms. Actual farmland with sheeps and cows and the whole 9 yards. Maybe even a windmill or something like that. And why do I need this? Well, first off, I need the materials from it. I need wool, I need leather, I need all of that in order to continue working on the port in the future. And it's better to set it up now so we can go ahead and start collecting up those materials. Another reason is I just need a break from the port. I love working on the port, but having another project to work on is going to be really nice. It's just kind of a break in the action. So let's go and make ourselves an absolutely beautiful farming area. The Farmlands on the outside of our city. So as you guys remember, this valley... Oh, hello, horse. Are you good? you got stuck there for a second, buddy. You kind of almost threw me off there or something. But anyway, this valley, this really big valley here up where our skeleton farm is and all of this land. This is eventually going to be where our city is nestled in between these mountains. But if we go ahead and follow this valley out, we will actually end up at another valley that's not quite as big as this one, but it's still very nice. And I think that some farmlands and maybe some little cottage homes and things like that could look really, really pretty here. There's also a river nearby, so we could add some things down there eventually. And overall, I just think this is too good of an area for us to not do anything with. And this is actually it. This is the area. So nice and big, open, very sunny, which I like. Not a ton of mountains except for this one here, and then some lower mountains over here and some lower mountains here. But this actually will end up, if we go across this slight plains here, this will end up at a river down low, right down there, which is, I say it's a river. It's kind of a river. It tried to generate a river, okay? It's as good as Minecraft could do, okay? But anyway, we got ourselves this river-ish thing down here. I mean, it's kind of a terrible river, but you get the point. You get the point. Anyway, and then up there we have the nice, beautiful plains that we can actually work in, and I terribly missed that jump. But anyway, so this is too good of an area for me to do nothing with, so I'm going to do farmland. I'm going to flatten this area out a little bit. I want to make some nice, pretty walls. I want to make some cottage home looking things, and I got so many ideas. And I'm ready to go. So I'm actually going to hitch this guy up over to these hitching posts over here, which I guess I should also mention. I went ahead and captured myself a couple of sheep and a couple of cows. That way we have those guys for, you know, some animal pens and stuff around here in the future. But, yeah, they've just been hanging out. Hey, where's my leads? Come here. Come here. Jet, get over here. I ain't gonna lie, I almost forgot your name. Jet, come here. There you go. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to get to work around here. I want to flatten this area out a little bit. There's a couple of spots that need to be covered up like this. I don't want caves. I don't want caves in my farmland. That's not cool. And then some spots like up here I think are a little bit too high. Like I like this level. So some of this needs to be taken down, flatten this out a little bit, and then it's okay if this drops down. It's okay if the land's a little uneven. I'm fine with all of that, but we just need to get it in a little bit better, you know, ship shape around here. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, get some general layouts worked out in my head as well, and I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Man, smoothing out land takes a lot longer than I anticipated, but it does look a lot better. It's not perfect by any means, but it's just smoother. We don't have any weird jutting out bits or any cave holes or anything like that anymore, and the valley looks a lot prettier. I also have paths in basically everywhere that I want them. They're not completely outlined or completely finished, but that's actually what I'm going to work on next. I want to get some walls in for this area. I want to section things off into dedicated fields for our farmland. And this is going to be one of the walls that I do. It's going to consist of stone, cobblestone, andesite, some leaf blocks, but really, the benefit of having a wall like this is that it's actually a block and a half on the back side, so that nothing can actually get out of this type of wall. And that is going to be perfect for those guys, for the sheep and the cows, so that they can't actually escape. So we have a little bit of play on this side where we can, you know, put a block down or something like that so that we can still get over, but also just to add a little bit of a decorative bit to this side. But overall, this is going to be the pen. This is going to be the type of, I guess, hedge that we're going to use to keep our animals in. However, for the rest of the farm that's going to be holding crops and flowers and things like that, I want to do this type of wall, this type of hedging all the way around the entire farmland, because this just looks absolutely gorgeous to me. It's just oak leaves. That's it. Oak leaves on the ground on each side of the path. But once you get a ton of them, it makes the whole area feel very, very lush. I'm probably going to come in and add in some spruce fences as well, just to make it look a little bit more held together, I guess, rather than just, you know, leaf blocks on the ground. Make it look like it's, you know, got some sticks in it, like it's actual bushes, but that's the plan, and it is turning night. It gets really dark with this shader pack on. I don't know I don't know why it gets dark so quickly, but It definitely does, or at least it feels like it does. I guess because the sun is setting feels pretty dark too. But anyway, that's my plan right now. My plan right now is to get in these hedges. Hopefully I have enough leaves to do the entire farmland here. And I also want to section off some of these areas. So like this area is going to be a flower area. I may want to divide this by coming with, oak leaves this way or something. And when I go with oak leaves, I'll have this side as, sunflowers, and this side as peonies or something like that. That way we can have different fields for different crops, and I think that will be really cool. So that's what I'm going to work on next. I'm going to get these hedges in, I'm going to get these walls in, and that's really, really going to fill up this area. It really is kind of crazy just how much some walls and some hedges can make an area feel alive. Like this feels really good already, and we're not even close to done, but I can start visualizing exactly what's going to go everywhere. And that's what I love about doing a build like this. Like each one of these fields you can see is sectioned off, and you can even, kind of picture all of the flowers or crops or something like that in these fields. You can see, if you visualize, if you use your imagination, some cows, maybe some grass needs to be put in here as well, but you can kind of see where we're going with each one of these areas. Over here, I left a nice open area without hedges around it because I'd like to put in a little cottage home or something like that into this area. I think that would be nice. I also have plans for something like a windmill would be great for a farmland area. And I think I may want to put that over in this area just because I think visually this will look like a pretty good spot for one. But overall, I like how this is coming out. I like the direction that we're going. And while this is a lot of repetitive busy work, a project like this it's basically beautiful when it's done. It's lots of repeating tasks, and then once you're done with all of those repetitive tasks, then everything comes together to look beautiful. And it's kind of hard to show all of these step by step, but I think you guys kind of get the picture. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to plant flowers. I can show you guys this. We're going to do this, but like 1,000 times. And actually, these azure bluettes. Azure bluettes. These, I think I'm actually going to put in this area right here. I'm trying to plot out my different fields to where I have like some smaller flowers in these areas that have, higher up places, because if you have small flowers, here, they're kind of covered by the hedges. But if you put the small flowers up here, right, if you have a field that actually has a ledge to it, now if you're walking on this path, you can actually see the pretty small flowers. So that's cool. And then your two tall flowers can go into areas that are more flat, like this area. Although technically this area I'm not going to do two tall flowers. This area I actually want to turn into like a little bit of a pond area, because I think that hole over here, I don't know, it just gave me some inspiration. Kind of want to dig this out, make this into like a actual little pond of some sort. But like, let's see, can I find an area that's relatively flat? Probably those areas over there. Let's see, can we bloop, bloop, whoop, those areas. They're relatively flat, so those would probably be a good area for a two tall flower rather than these one tall. Anyway, that's just some of the planning that I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start filling in these fields with flowers, with crops, the whole 9 yards, and let's see this entire area transform. So do you ever have one of those builds where while you're doing it, it's just absolutely miserable because it's so big and it takes so much time, but then you finish it, right? And then you can take a look back and be like, oh wow. Absolutely gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. I love how this came out with the wheat, with the lilacs, with the sunflowers facing in toward the rest of the farmland. I even got a little bit creative and I made some tree farm area. So we have like some saplings of spruce trees that are growing. Some that are a little bit smaller, so a little bit younger trees, and then some that are growing up. No full-size trees by any means, because obviously those would be cut down, but these are perfect. We also have like berry areas, berry picking areas. We have more spruce trees, carrots, lilacs, peonies, more wheat over there. We got roses. We got everything. And I actually kind of stayed away toward the small flowers because it actually exposes too much of the dirt blocks, and honestly it just didn't look that good. So I kept the small flowers on the very first section, the azure bluettes over there, because I think those look okay, but the rest of these I went with two tall flowers, and I have to say, I love this area. I do. It just came out looking so good. Let's go ahead and head up to the side of the mountain and let's get an overview just as the sun is setting, because I think that will be a picture perfect view. Let's see. How are we going to look? Maybe right here? That's pretty. That's pretty. And we're not done. We're not done. I still have two buildings that I really want to get in today, and then I'll probably come back and add a third windmill building, probably somewhere in this area in the future. But I need to get wool from these sheep so we can actually make a windmill. So for right now, we're just going to do the two smaller farmhouses in today's episode. Okay, so for these houses, we're going to keep things a little bit simple. We're not going to go too complicated here. However, we are going to use a diagonal build. I've shown you guys how to do these in the last episode, so we're going to do a very similar method, but this one's going to be a little bit smaller. It's not going to be as wide, and I'm also going to do a slightly different roof this time that I find to be a little bit nicer, in my opinion at least. But this is going to be a very, very simple house. We're not going to get complicated here at all. We're going to do a window up here like that, and then for this level, we're going to do another window right on this level here, and I should probably... we'll do it like that for now. I may have to turn that block because it looks a little bit funny. Yeah, I need to turn that. Never mind. That's gonna look really funny if I leave it like that, because this texture is actually directional. It's kind of hard to see that, but it definitely is, and I don't want to leave it like that. I want all of the grain going in the same direction, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then I think this area will do as a doorway, so we'll just kind of fill this in like so, and then boom, boom, and then drop down, and then boom, boom. One high door, remove that block, and then this section over here will do as another window of some sort. So just bring that up to here, there, and go ahead and place that down. Now you'll notice that I am doing quite high windows, and the reason for that is I actually want to add some bushes underneath here. I think that'll look really good. I did not fix this section. I really need to get scaffolding on my bar. Here we go. There we go. That'll work a lot better. All right, let's go ahead and place a birchwood there. And I am doing a little bit of building on camera today because it's been a while since I've just done a little bit of building on camera to show you guys kind of how I do things and how I think through the process as I'm building. So, you know, if you like this type of style of video, then leave me a like or something. That would be very much appreciated. I want to remove that block there too. Okay, so this is kind of the basics of our front area, and we'll probably copy over something pretty similar on the back. I want to do some stone bricks right up front as a bit of a landing, kind of as an entranceway or something like that. I want to go up there and get that block. Come here. Birch is extremely, extremely valuable to me right now because I don't have a ton of it, so can't be wasting birch. But anyway, yeah, something simple like this. Not a super complex layout. On this edge here, I say that we do... You know, it could be cool to have a window or something like that looking out over the path here. So maybe we do something like that. So we just go a little bit like this, and we'll come over here and build up a little bit here. And then we'll bring this up, and again, we're gonna have to turn the grains in on this, but let's do like that, and remove that piece, place that there, remove that piece, place that there, and can I get that top block? Yep, and nope. Place down, come on. There we go, all right, beautiful. So we'll have a nice big window over on that section of the build. Over on this wall, we'll probably just... Let's see, do we just want to fill this in? Yeah, let's just fill this wall in, and maybe we'll do a overhang or something like that on this wall in a minute. We'll do like a little lean-to section of the building that can, you know, cover this area, and we can set like some hay bales or something like that underneath there. But okay, this is going to be the basics of our build. The back side, I may just copy over what I did to the front side and call that good because... yeah, I think this will work. I think this will work. Can you guys tell that I don't have a great plan here? I mean, I have a general idea of what I want to do, at least for the shape, but I don't have everything completely laid out how I want to. In fact, I think we may even have too many windows, to be honest. I'll tell you what, let's actually take out this window here on each side. Yeah, that should do good. That should do good. I think that'll look a little bit better. I feel like you got to have a little bit of a balance whenever you're doing any type of building of like, you want a lot of windows, you want a lot of light being brought into your build, but you don't want too many windows or else it gets hard to decorate the inside of the actual building. I don't know. That's kind of something that I kind of struggle with because I love having windows in my build, but at the same time, it's like a nice dance, a dance that you have to do of not too many windows, but definitely enough windows that you're getting in that light. I think something like this will look good though, especially once we get some bushes around the bottom. I think that will look perfectly fine. Okay, so this is the basics of our house. Now we need to get a roof in and we need to get the detailing in around the outside edge. And I think I'm also going to strip down this dark oak wood because I think that the stripped is going to look a little bit better. It's going to kind of blend in with that birch a little bit. I think that'll look rather nice. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's do a little bit of crafting. Oh wait, no, I don't. I got some spruce slabs right here. So we'll do spruce slab here. Do I have trap doors on me? Of course I don't. That would have been too nice. Let's grab some logs, craft up some slabby slabs, and we'll do slab, 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 slab. And do I have fences on me? I do indeed. All right. Fence there, fence there. Perfect. Perfect. I like that. It's just such a simple entranceway, but it definitely works. Okay. For the front, I want to get in some more birch because I feel like birch just is going to look so good in this environment. Yeah, it's one of those environments that because it's so bright and colorful, having a house that's a little more cheery, right? It's got some dark highlights to the edge and all, but having something that's a bit more cheery, I think is a good thing. Yeah, I think it's going to look good in this area. Okay, so we'll do something that's like this. I just want to kind of make this pole that's going down here feel a little bit better. So it's not such a harsh contrast there going straight into the dirt. And I'll probably do that on all of the sides. So just something like this. Yeah. All right, well, I think I'm going to continue detailing out a little bit more, but this is basically my process here. I just kind of step back and look at things, have some ideas, and I just kind of go for it. This is one of those questions that I ask myself all the time is like, Okay, we got that done. What's next? And then you keep doing what's next over and over again until you have a completed build. Also, some of you guys may be wondering why I'm doing things on a diagonal, like this build as well is going to be on a bit of a diagonal too, and that's because everything in our gardens here is very natural. It's very, it very much moves with the land and kind of curves. So I want my buildings to also have a little bit of a curve to them. That's why I'm building diagonals here. I think that having a boxed build, just a complete rectangle, would look a little bit weird. So I'm not going to do that here. I'm actually going to, yeah, I'm going to make these things diagonal, and I think it's going to look pretty nice, pretty nice. Hello, sheep. All right, so I'm going to continue detailing this out, and I'll bring you guys back in just a minute whenever we do the roof, because I'm going to show you guys a different method for doing diagonal roofs today. Okay, so you guys know that normally I say not to do the walls first, but in this case, I actually already know what the roof is going to look like, so I didn't really need to plan that out, and I could focus a little bit on the walls here. And I actually decorated it up a little bit. We probably still have some small things that we can do here and there, but I actually want to get started on this roof. And as you can see, I have run a beam across the top. That's not going to be seen because our trim is actually going to go against that. And I'm going to show you guys a new way to do the diagonal roofs today that I didn't show in the last episode. So once again, we're going to start with our trim here. We're going to overhang by 1. And whenever we come even with these beams, we're going to go out by an additional block, and then we're going to turn in, and then we're going to turn out once again, and then we're going to go out by an additional block, turn in, go along here, go out an additional block like this, and then we're going to overhang at the end. Now, the reason that we came out by an additional block this time, rather than just following the beam here, what we can do is we can actually remove all of these blocks that are connecting. And if you check this out, it's a slightly different roof design, but it's a little bit sharper, a little bit cleaner in my opinion. I think that that looks really good. And this also doesn't leave any weird gaps at the top that you have to fill in with slabs. This will make a nice smooth roof all the way up. Let me show you. All right, so check this out. Now that we've done that all the way up the building, you'll see that we have nice even gaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So it is absolutely perfect for you to do your roof line now. You don't have to do any weird filling in of stuff or anything like we had to do at the port area. This is a nice and smooth roof. It's a little bit more pointy whenever you're looking at it at the ground. It's a little bit of a sharper edge, but overall, I think that that's okay. I think that it, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it because I think it's simple, but it still looks really, really nice. Now, if we go ahead and head around to the front, I actually want to take a look at our building from the ground, and let's see what we have. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking good. It's a simple little cottage, but it's my simple little cottage. Okay, we still have some more detail work to get in, though. We need to do some type of under trim underneath this spruce here, so I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe just some trap doors every other block or something like that. We need to get the windows in. We need to get some type of decoration on this side and the back side as well. But overall, we're good. We're looking good. Let me go ahead and finish this thing up real quick. And after a few minutes of time, this is looking really cute. It really is. This is an adorable little house. It's nothing big or anything like that, but it's nice. It's nice. And I still need to get the windows in. I haven't went back to my base to grab the white stained glass that I need, so I still got to fill it in. The build is feeling a little bit drafty, to say the least, but I also added in an overhang over here with some hay and some barrels underneath. I think that that looks really good as well. I need to go back to the base and grab that white stained glass, and I'll show you guys it, you know, fully finished up here in a minute. I guess I need a door, don't I? But for the most part, the massive detailing is in for this build. Let's go ahead and let's move on to this one. But first, I want to head back to the base to pick up some other materials. Not only the white stained glass that I need to grab to finish up that build, but I also want to pick up some sandstone, because I think that this next build, I want to use that as a sort of base layer for the build, because I want to have these builds be pretty... I want them to be pretty bright and cheerful and cheery, which will fit this farmland area very nicely, but I don't want it to be modern. And I think that sandstone is going to be a nice in-between. It's not going to be, you know, the brightest or the cheeriest, but it's not going to be bright white either. So I feel like I'm making sense at least. So sandstone, I'm gonna need a fair amount of it. Alrighty, so for this build, we're going to use some smooth sandstone, and once again, we're working at a bit of a diagonal. However, it's nowhere near as diagonal as this build. It's just got one setback over here, and I think that's going to make it a little interesting, but not too much, because this is kind of in a curve, so I don't want it to be, you know, super curved. Having like a super sharp curved build inside of a curve here, I think would look a little bit funny. So I'm kind of going rectangular, but I still want to have an indent this way that kind of, you know, since this curve goes this way, I want the building to go that way at least a little bit. So that's my plan here. Now, what I'm going to do is, I think my doorway, I want to be just dead center on this wall. And normally I wouldn't dead center a door, but in this case, I think it's going to work, because I'm going to do something like this for the windows. So we'll kind of have a little face there. That's fine. Okay. And then over on this side, we're just going to fill all of this in, and then we'll have ourselves a little window like that, kind of offset. And we're going to come back and texture this with regular sandstone, but for right now, I'm okay with just working with this, with the smooth sandstone for right now. Okay, I'm going to forego doing the walls, and we're going back to my old method of building, of doing the roof first, because this roof line is really going to make this build, I think, because once again, without a good roof, you're not going to have a good build. So let's go with something a bit like this. I think I'm going to go with dark oak as like our trim piece here. And then for the interior of the roof, for kind of the fill-in block, I want to go with birchwood, because I haven't used birchwood at all in any of these builds other than the base of this wall. So like all of this fill-in for this wall is birchwood, but I haven't used birch plank other than for texturing. And I think having birch stairs could look really good for a roofing idea here. So high contrast, dark oak with birchwood. And let's just see how this ends up. Once again, we're going to do this little trick here for the roof to make the diagonal work. If I can make my stairs cooperate today. There we go. So we'll do this exact same thing for the roof as we did on the other build for the diagonal piece, just because I think it's so easy. It's so easy. So another thing that I do want to do for this roof that's going to be slightly different from just a diagonal is I do want to do a peak right here above the doorway in the roof. And it's not going to be like super big or tall or anything. I want it to go up to the same height as the normal roof, but I think it'll just add a little bit of interest to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come right here and I'll do a regular stair upside down, and then a regular, and then upside down. And we're just going to work our way back and forth from each direction until we find the center of this. So like so, and then here in the middle, we'll do, I guess we'll do an upside down stair here. and then a stair like this, and a half slab going out like that. Let's see what this looks like and see if I did that did that kind of how I'm envisioning. Yeah, I think that works. And then behind this, in this archway, we can actually add another window and some smooth stone up to like a, it'll kind of look like a second floor or something like that. Even though we won't actually have anything up there, it'll give that illusion, and I think that'll be quite nice. So what we'll do is just where all of these stairs are, where we have any gaps, we'll just go ahead and fill that up like so, and then go ahead and get our white stained glass, throw it there. Do I have a, yeah, we got a trap door. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little something like that, just to kind of cover up that window. And let's see what we have. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Definitely still need detailing and texturing on the bottom down here, but I think that's going to make for a nice little bit of interest to the roof line. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up the rest of this roof. In order to connect into this, we'll just go right up the way like this, and then this here will actually end up connecting to the center of this roof. And then for here, we should just be able to go out like this, and then in like that. And boom, boom. Yes, we should be able to do that on both sides, and we should be perfectly fine with making these roof lines meet up. I mean, that is a very, very high contrast roof, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not great. I'll be honest. It's not great, but it's not bad, and I like it. I think that it really fits the vibe around here. Nice and bright and cheery. I'm good with it. Let's go ahead and take down this scaffolding, and let's actually start doing the detailing on this thing and filling out the filling out the rest of the walls, because I haven't done that either. Oh, man. Okay, let's get to it. I don't know what I want to do here, though. Maybe we do another big window like that. Sure, why not? Let's do it. So I've been looking at this house for like a solid 5 minutes, and I feel like it's done, right? I keep staring at it, and I'm like, I'm missing something. I'm missing, I don't know, that pizzazz piece. I don't know what's missing, though, and I finally figured it out. I forgot to texture the whole thing with sandstone. That's saying something, right? I'm like, man, the build is so good, but it's just missing that one last pizzazz factor, you know? And sometimes it's just as simple as this. And doing this to the entire build, oh yeah, it's going to break up that texture a bit, and that's going to look a lot better. Okay, let me do this. I wasted so much time just staring at this thing like, okay, well, it's missing something. I just don't know what. Oh, yeah. Just a little bit of something to break that up. Yeah, that is looking much better. Much better. Just a little bit of texturing really brings the whole build together. But this thing is now done. I don't know that it's my best work. However, I do think that it may be my cutest work. Just cute little cottages of some sort here amongst the farmland. And I think that it turned out looking really, really nice. I love this build. It took me like 4 days or something to get this entire area done, but I mean, I think it turned out looking good. I do. Let's go ahead and get another look from up top now that we have a couple of buildings in. And let's just see. Oh, man. Just a little peek there. Just a little peek. You guys ready? Booyah! Oh, I love it. It definitely still needs the windmill, though. Definitely still needs the windmill somewhere up in that area just to kind of fill out the place a little bit more. But I mean, overall, I'm happy with this. I really am. I think this came out looking so good. So good. Okay, so in a future episode, we still have more work to do around here. Over in this spot, we have a field that I didn't put anything in yet, and that's because I want to kind of make this like a swampy area of some sort, like put, not a swamp, but like a pond, and I could put drift leaves in there, or moss blocks or something like that. I don't want it to be swampy, because then, you know, all this beauty, and then there's a swamp over in the corner. Don't want that, but I want it to be like a pretty grove area or something like that. Something that's a little bit more natural than the fields, but something that is, you know, can hold some different types of flowers, like the drip leaves, or some of the azalea bushes and things like that. So that needs to be done, as well as the windmill. I don't know that we're going to be back here in the next episode, because I do need to get back to working on the port here fairly soon. But this is 2 projects that we can keep in the mind for the future. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be where I wrap up for today. I do hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, as well as if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. And I got to race over to wherever my bed is. In here? Nope, bed's not in here. Okay, is my bed in my... Okay, my bed's in my inventory. You know what? Let's go in here, and we'll sleep away the night in here. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day. Good morning, world! Oh, man. I'm so happy with this.